watching the very best in local programming from CVI, Channel 3, Long Beach.
Pep Talk, brought to you in part by Ciravello's Sports Bar and Restaurant, 4115 Viking Way, serving generations of pasta and pizza lovers since 1962. Come in and visit our enlarged facility with over 6,000 square feet of fun.
Howdy folks, I'm Jeff Severson, this is John Craig, and you're watching Pep Talk live on Thursday night. We have got a great show tonight.
Ball game. Take me out.
Ain't gonna be no rematch. Ain't gonna be no baseball season.
Buy me some peanuts.
What do you think about that, John? Baseball, they're striking.
Number one, if Bill Clinton gets involved, you're going to see him handle this exactly the way he's handled everything else.
It's gonna be his Watergate, huh?
Number two, Jim Bunning says that they will not play until spring training next year. Number three, Metzenbaum and Orrin Hatch introduced a bill in Congress that says that if they don't come to agreement, they're going to remove their status of being exempt
But there's
from
a couple.
antitrust laws.
There's a couple of owners like Steinbrenner and the Orioles owner that are saying, "Hey, Montreal has been successful without, and there's don't have a. They've got one of the lower salary caps on the team, and they've been successful. So why we don't need it? We can be successful without it." So
I think you're starting to see a split in the ranks, as they say,
Yeah.
because Steinbrenner, you've got a couple of the other owners that are saying, hey, wait a minute, this guy Ravitch is going to kill baseball, because up to Ravitch, they will not play until the year 2000. That's how strong he is against providing a salary cap. And I think the owners are getting a little mad, and Steinbrenner wants to sit in at the bargaining table. Maybe that's the first crack in the armor. A couple of the other, Tony Snow, who is with USA Today and a sports writer, indicated that he thinks it'll go a week, and then they'll come back. But Bunning, and he's the guy, if you remember Jim Bunning, no-hitter pitcher, he's in Congress, and he said that basically he sees him going a long, long time. And here's a guy that helped form the Baseball Players Association. I personally, I think that I spent I think this week with David Brinkley and a couple of other shows, Meet the Press, had interviews with the two principals, and I paid attention to what they were saying. Bob Costas did a good interview. You could find something on each side, but I think what it looks like is it's going back to the antitrust. But baseball is exempt from antitrust, and I think as long as they're exempt from antitrust, they can do things that they're going to do. And I believe, truthfully, that that's what's going to be revisited, and they don't want that, but I think that's what's going to happen.
they're going to try to do things that are exempt from antitrust, but this is why the players are striking.
But enough about me.
Things. Yeah, we'd like, ladies and gentlemen, to pay special tribute to a longtime friend here in Long Beach. Max Coley was a great football coach. He coached for the San Diego Chargers, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Los Angeles Rams, and the Denver Broncos. He was a Century Club member, a great friend of anybody that ever met him. He was, as a coach, he was what I call a player's coach. Everybody liked him. He treated the players as special friends. And his passing was last week, and we'd like to make a special tribute to all the friends out there of Max Coley. If you'd like to participate in his wake on Tuesday, the 16th of August, they're having a special tribute to Max from 4 to 6 at Papa's over on Pacific Coast Highway, Papa's Western Barbecue. So all the friends of Max and coaches in the Century Club folks are going to be there from 4 to 6. So Max, we'll miss you, and
He was on
You
this
know
show.
Max.
He
We
was
had him on the
this
show. He's
many,
a
many
great
times.
personality.
He was a spokesperson not only for Century Club but for sports in Long Beach.
Right.
And he's such a
He
great
helped put
guy.
together a couple of clinics with some Bill Walsh and
Well,
some great coaches. So
somewhere up
We'll
there,
miss him.
there's some clinics getting
That's
started right now.
That's
I'll tell you, with Max, and we will miss him. And to his family, our deepest sympathies. A show today that we're going to involve ourselves pretty much with the Catalina ski race because they've been doing it a few years.
46.
40 until they get it right.
That's right.
And because Skip Vaughn has been trying to get it right now for 46 years, and maybe this is the year he gets it done correctly. But we've got some people, Lee Squier, who was last year's winner, of course, Laurie.
He's going for the 2-peat.
He's going for the 2-peat, and Laurie Dunsmore is going
For the 5-peat.
4 times. She has won this consecutively, and I believe that she was telling us Joni Martinez holds the record, and in effect of 4. So you got a history in the making. Laurie Dunsmore will be going for number 5.
And we got the horse on a little bit later. But this
Harry the horse.
show is going to be dedicated to the Catalina ski race. 46 years. It's a great venue here in Long Beach. I think
They got
it's
water here. That helps.
Well, and they've got Catalina
They
too.
used
Could you
to
imagine?
do-
Say, where's that island? You know?
Where's that
There they
Catalina
go.
Island?
But I'm looking forward. I had the opportunity to. Lee called me up and he says, "Do you want to take a ride on the boat?" And I said, "Yeah."
You got the
So I
water?
show up down at the Parker's Lighthouse. They picked me up, and I got a T-shirt, my sunglasses, and just a ball cap on. Picked me up on the boat, and we hit that thing. And I mean, you needed goggles and wet weather gear and warm weather gear and everything. And to watch him do what he does, he is tough in rough water. So anyway, we're going to have him on the show, and Lori and Skip, who has done a great job with this thing. This is a great event. It's maybe close to the Grand Prix, huh? And
I was
that's
gonna
what
say,
Skip says.
If you start talking about the events in Long Beach and you start talking about Queen Mary and how do you hang your hat on the city of Long Beach, and everybody always says the Grand Prix.
I thought you were going to say the Spruce Goose.
The Spruce Goose, yeah, that's one of the things.
tough to hang your hat on
that's
that
it's
anymore,
a great
amigo.
one. But if you start thinking about tradition,
Yeah.
which this town needs to maintain its traditions, we've lost so many of them. This is one that we can sit there and hang our hats
Yeah.
on. And the kids and everybody, newcomers in town,
It's
a
a Long
great
Beach
event.
event. It's a Long
It is
Beach
a
event.
great event. All right, we're going to be back. Are we going to leave now? We're going to stretch? Why don't you come up here and do this so everybody knows what we're really looking at. We're
But
looking
see,
at one of
that
these.
doesn't bother us.
Oh,
When they
no.
go like that, that means you have to stretch the segment out a little bit
So
further.
we just do one of these. back
Anyway,
row.
O.J. Simpson got arrested. We're going to be right back with Pep Talk and Lee Squier, the champion from last year's Catalina ski race. We'll be right back on Pep Talk.
Did you know that your remote has an AB button? It switches your converter to the A cable or B cable. The A side has been the channel lineup in Long Beach. The B side are the channels presently being added. If you're seeing new services on your TV, you may have pushed the AB button by mistake. You'll see this dot on your general instrument converter if you did. To switch back to the A side, simply push the AB button again. Some areas can now order B-side programming. Call now and get the CVI advantage.
Well, we had a lot of customers come in, new customers almost every day. And everyone who came in said if they didn't see it on Channel 3, they would not have known that we were even here. And we've been here a year. Oh, it was real good. You folks made us look real good. The cost is so reasonable that we're continuing to replay our segment. So I must say that it really worked for us.
Want to get away from it all? Then why not take a cruise? Because once on board, everything you ever wanted is at your fingertips. Service, gourmet food, entertainment, and exotic ports are all yours for the asking by calling Touch of Travel, a cruise-oriented agency. Our staff makes frequent cruise inspections and enjoys the art of cruising. Why not let our knowledge of cruise ships serve your needs for that next departure? Call Touch of Travel, 427-2144.
Hi, folks. We got the music here.
We got to wait for that. Why did they do that? What, now you go? Wait,
Now we go.
Did you know we have a musical director now? Is that what it is?
Timing's everything, John.
You have a musical
Timing's
director?
everything.
Lee Squier, a man who has won the Catalina key race. I can say that?
You can say
I can say that
Two
anytime I want to.
tickets That's another joke.
Pittsburgh. 1993, you won it, and Lee, welcome. And this year, anything different? I know that Skip Vaughn's going to be on a little bit later talking about some changes, but there is a major change in that they're going to be going to a flight or a breakdown so that people can go out in different groups. What does that do to strategy for you?
Well, it's really not going to affect our strategy at all. We didn't even find out about it, or I didn't find out about that until yesterday was the first time I'd heard anything. The class that I ski will still be in the first wave. It may even help us. There won't be quite as many boats leaving all at once, so it may give us a little bit more room on the starting line.
And that's the toughest thing. The start of this race is the toughest, just clearing your way and getting your way out. Talk about the start.
Well, one of the big problems that you may have is out of 110 boats like last year, there's going to be a few rookies. Sometimes you go to the starting line with a rookie next to you. You never know what they may do. They could cut your rope. On accident,
Sure.
But so it's something like that you really worry about.
Or on purpose.
Or on purpose.
I've never pictured a
Did you
man
think
getting his
about
rope
that?
cut on this.
All right, now last year you had your time from Queensway Bay Hilton to the buoy right outside of Avalon and back to the finish line was what time?
55 minutes and 3 seconds.
And the record is?
54:57.
You mean
6 seconds.
6 seconds.
you were 6 seconds off the record?
Yeah, 6 seconds.
Can you point back now and that's what I did wrong?
Well, I had never won the race before, so we were going for the win, definitely.
Okay.
And we really had no idea we were that close. Otherwise, there was a lot of places we could have picked it up.
Now that you know that, is your goal to break the record?
Well, we'd have 3 stopwatches on the boat now.
No, now.
Now we do.
Now you do.
Yeah.
Lee, the weather has been great. It's been very warm. What is that? How does that affect the seas now? Because you are, I was talking about, this guy can run in rough water. I mean, I think that's one of your strengths. What do you expect for this weekend?
Well, right now it's pretty calm, but I've heard there's a hurricane off of Mexico, so it's hard to tell. That could come right in by Sunday, or it may blow by.
Yeah.
So.
You mean you've got 3 watches and you're not sure about the weather?
Well,
I mean,
I
this is
called the
something you
weatherman,
need to
but
do.
those guys they're reliable.
If you
You ever
have,
listen to Dallas Raines?
Dallas is
He's
a
got
good
the
man.
kind of the same hairdo.
Well, no, the Dallas, you can actually bounce basketball off of
he's got
Dallas.
the kind of that
Look.
Pat Riley look.
Yeah,
maybe?
that's it. when you get clean ice like that, then it comes down pretty much to the boat. I mean, it's always the boat that's pulling you. But I would think that, as Jeff points out, in rough water, somebody like yourself, who's got the strength and can handle it, might have an advantage over somebody else. But when it's smooth, then you're really balancing the ability to drive those boats.
Yeah, but this Catalina race out in the ocean, it's very rarely smooth enough to where a skier's going to be able to ski the boat wide open. It can happen, but it's pretty rare.
So you don't look for it.
I don't look for that.
Have you been out? Have you done any practice runs? I take it
You
that
took me. You took me to practice.
When?
Haven't you been listening
Yeah,
to the
but
show?
when
I
was
just
it?
was
I thought it
talking
was
about
last
it.
year.
No, it was what, 2 months ago? Or
Yeah, about 2 months
6
ago we went
weeks
for a
ago?
practice run.
What was the weather like then?
It was kind of a rough day, as I recall. It was real overcast and kind of
It
cool.
was a steel great
It was.
fog in Long Beach.
Yeah, it was. Visibility was pretty poor.
Have you gone out since, or will you go out one more time before Sunday? Because the big race is Sunday.
No, I'm not going to go out any between now and the race.
I guess it's not like golf. You don't need a caddy out there. Say there's right around that buoy. There's some kelp. You don't want to go there. But
Right.
You don't have anything like that. There
Well,
could be an obstruction.
Hopefully the driver's going to see that. I'm relying on him to see anything out there that may be a problem.
You know what I learned when we went on this practice run is everybody has a job, and boy, they don't waver from that job. I mean, I want to tell a few jokes. Hey, there's a flying fish. But shut up, because you have your driver, who's basically he's not even looking at you at all.
No,
And then you have your point man, or what do you call him?
Call him an observer.
The observer, and he is talking to the driver every 20 seconds.
Yeah.
He's good. He's up. He's fine. He's okay. And it was amazing the teamwork, and I was impressed with that. But you have got. You want to take this call? Then I want to ask you. I want to ask you about the competition, because they've got guys coming in from all over the world.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a guy right now coming in from all over the world. Hi, Bill. How are you?
Hey, I'm all right.
Yeah, talk a little bit.
Hey, John. Hey, Jeff.
Talk to us about the ski race.
Well, I was just wondering.
No, we don't know. But
No, look. Okay. I'm not a skier, but I'd like to learn. Now, would it be a bad idea if I were in a race?
Yeah, I think Sunday you ought to go down there. Just show up and maybe go out there with these
Put
guys.
out about 300 grand for a nice fast boat, right?
Well, you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about to kids, to novices? Now, you've got a group going out this year. You've had them in the past that are called the novices. This year, they're broken apart. What are the novices? How old are they? And is it based on age, or is it based on skill, or how do they do it?
Well, I'm not an expert on the class definition, but I believe the novice is just someone who's never skied the race before.
Okay,
Well, there you go, Bill.
we'll have Skip on. Skip will talk to us about that.
Yeah.
All right, we've got some shots that we'd like to show you right now.
Yeah,
of
then
the
I want you to
Catalina
talk
Squier.
about who's going to be tough for you to beat.
Look good. Here we go. Can you see that, Lee? Take a look.
This is John Craig's helicopter shot
This
of,
is right.
of the boat. Now, all right, where are you at?
No, no,
Here,
Well, I'm on the left with the boat with the kind of the aqua and purple stripe. We're running right now in second place, and it looks like we're pulling up a little bit. I think we're just about ready to take the lead here.
Now, how would you compare the seas right there? Are they about?
I'd say that was a real average day. It wasn't rough, but it wasn't smooth either.
Now, folks, you don't realize this, but if you're in that boat, you better hang on because you are bouncing and
How
slamming. And
fast are you going?
Well, we were running probably about 78 right there.
78 miles an hour.
yeah.
Yeah.
My God.
And once you guys set your speed, you don't vary much at all, except maybe when you come in the lee of the island or something.
Well,
like
if
that.
the water conditions change, the driver will adjust for it.
Yeah.
How do you keep your focus, Lee? I mean, let's face it, you're going to be going 55 minutes, and probably until you get to the buoy in Catalina, you're not doing anything except holding on.
Oh yeah, that's
Is
for
that
sure.
is your focus that? I mean, can you get lulled?
No, you can't. Early on in my ski racing career, you could say I did. You know, that's the problem with focusing. And as soon as you lose that focus, you're going to fall.
You mean it's the old adage? I think of Ben Hogan one time that they asked him on a swing in a major tournament, "Do you inhale or exhale on your backswing?" And he got screwed up the entire thing because he started thinking about that. So as a skier, you've got to just. What is the first thing you think about? Stay on.
Well, yeah, the first thing I think about is just getting out of the breakwater clean with no mishaps. And then once we get out the opening, then I start to relax a little bit. You still have to keep that focus, but
Yeah.
I can begin to relax.
You know, as I watched him and the intensity as you were practicing, you don't realize he's taking jumps, he's hitting stuff, he's moving left and right, and it's a constant balance thing to stay on balance. And I was really impressed with it. The question I wanted to ask you is, when you get ready to go on your start, do you have a game plan? What's your attitude to get that clean start, that opening?
Well, you know, you can't strategize too much because you never know. Each race is different. You pull up to the starting line and you think you got everything just about figured out, and all of a sudden here comes two more boats. Mm-hmm. So you're constantly adjusting for what's going on around you. And then it just depends how fast the guy is next to you. If you get out in front of him, or if, you know, maybe he's got a quicker starting boat than we do, then we're going to have to adjust for that also.
How did you catch that guy in that last race?
Well, we were back and forth all the way to Catalina on that race, and actually about halfway back we were still back and forth, and finally he fell.
He did fall.
He did fall.
He fell.
And that's where my 6 seconds went, because when he fell, and we'd never won the race
You
before.
didn't have your lead horse. Yeah.
Well,
You went back and helped him up, and
well,
then you
no, but
continued.
we did back off speed a little bit.
Did you really?
Oh, we did, because the rest of the field was pretty far back. So we wanted to just ensure that we came in without a fall, you know, and get the win.
Boy, you
we
could've won a
always-
shot
we
back at
always
you.
see-
Who was that last year?
That was Kurt Book.
We always see shots at the beginning of the race. To me, this is just from somebody looking at it from the outside, it would seem that turn around that buoy might be the whole race, and we've never seen a lot of shots of that. What is the most important thing as you're getting into the buoy? Because now you're at the mercy of your driver, not you.
Well, in this particular race, the way I look at it is there's one turn, and that's at Catalina. We're not going to win or lose the race by making a good turn. You can lose it if you make a bad turn. So typically, we're not going to really do anything fancy over there. Just
So
make
is
a
it,
nice.
is it straight shot, and here's the buoy? Now, you don't have to go around the buoy, you have to go, what is the rule?
Well, it's like a 60-foot yacht that they have balloons and things over it, so you can recognize it. And you have to go around the yacht in a counterclockwise fashion.
so it's counterclockwise.
Yeah, counterclockwise, so that the people on the boat can take your number down and to visually identify you.
Now, as they make that turn, do you do the typical ski? Do you try and stay in the wake of the boat, or are you spinning onto the outside?
No, you
don't want to do that, do you?
Try to stay in the wake the whole time.
How fast do they take the turn?
Oh, probably 65, 70.
60. Zoom. That's a quick turn.
But so it was the two of you last year were kind of neck and neck, so there wasn't any problem on the turn for you. You probably came back where there was more density with the boats, the other boats,
yes,
right?
back further in the race. I mean, I guess, you know, maybe if you get 10 boats going into that turn at the same time, it could be a little wild.
That gets a lot of hair on the back of yours.
Yeah.
And especially if there's a guy that says, was it clockwise? Or was it counterclockwise?
I had heard that one year a guy did get confused on that.
I would think that would be interesting. As you make the turn, here's somebody else coming in.
Oh, yeah, that would be bad.
Hi, Zach. How are you? You going to the race?
I'm afraid I'm not.
Aw.
Gotta work.
Well, let's ask a question here of the winner of last year.
Excellent subject to be covering today on such a hot day.
Thank you.
It
Thank
cools
you.
you off.
Part of our goal here at Pep Talk.
I was wondering if he had an example of the style of ski he used for that type of race.
All right, the style of ski. We'll ask you.
Well, I don't have a sample to show you, but mine is Maharaja. It's 85 inches long, and it's designed strictly for ski racing. So.
And it's a single ski.
It's a single ski, flat bottom. It really doesn't.
Is it a single?
I wanted to. There are people watching this.
Ridiculous.
No, it wasn't. There are people watching this that are thinking that there's two skis. I mean, you go down and you want to go water skiing, you don't know how to do it on one ski. You can go out there with two skis. I wanted to verify.
I see.
All I'm doing
Maybe
is
you would need two skis.
Well, I do need two skis. I have a different center of gravity than you do.
Lee Squier, we hope you make the two-peat, and I've enjoyed your friendship, and good luck this weekend at Sunday.
We do want to make sure
14th.
that we do have sponsorships available.
Yeah.
If you'd like to take anything you particularly own and slap it on this man's body.
Boy, would I appreciate it, because I could sure use it right about now.
Yeah, and if you want to get involved, this is one of the ways to do it with the ski program, the Catalina ski race, 46-year tradition, and that is to get involved with somebody like Lee Squier, a proven winner, or anybody else, but especially in this instance, our guest that's with us today. So for sponsorship information, call 433-2105. And Lee will be more than glad to talk to you about your company or yourself individually getting involved with sponsorship. And we'll be back in just a minute. Thank you very much. You got one other thing?
One other thing.
Go ahead.
I was on your show about a year and a half ago, and you're
sorry,
kind
I
of
don't owe you
responsible for
anything.
something.
What?
You made a comment about my age, that I was the George Foreman of ocean racing, and it's kind of sticking. So I don't know.
And you're older now.
Yeah, and I'm older now, so I don't know what you're going to call me.
How old are you now?
Well, now I'm 40.
40, the geezer.
Well, Lee,
Go
George
watch the
Foreman,
geezer.
good luck this weekend, and we'll have some potato chips, hot dogs, and pretzels for you.
All
Stay
right.
tuned to Pep Talk. We got Skip Vaughn, the director of this race, coming up next.
No, we don't.
We got Lloyd Dunsmore.
She doesn't remember either.
Maybe I shouldn't be eating this. It's got a lot of grease and cheese and bad stuff that's going to put on weight and clog my arteries. You know, but it makes me feel good and happy, and what's life about anyway? But then again, I don't want to get fat and die. I mean, I'm already losing my hair. I sure don't want a heart attack or a stroke. Oh, what to do? I'm Dr. Jack Thomas, inviting you to learn the secrets of losing weight joyfully on the next edition of To Your Health, entitled Weight Control, Facts and Fallacies. Live Tuesday, August 2nd at 7 p.m. with encore performances throughout the month. Don't wait or you'll miss it.
The Long Beach Unified School District has fantastic new learning options available to your child through the Magnet Academy Consortium. We are offering intense academic studies at our 8 schools. The specialized academy offerings range from Montessori instruction to radio and TV broadcasting, with other exciting programs in science and math, performing arts, microsociety, and foreign language instruction. We have the most high-tech equipment available. To hear more about our outstanding Magnet Academy Consortium, call today and plan for tomorrow.
Music? Music up? Music up? No music?
You know, at the end of this show, they put our names like we're the assistant producers and
We have
stuff like
nothing
that.
whatsoever
We have
to
no
say.
idea if the music is coming or going.
As a participant in the production side of it, I think we need to can the music.
Yeah.
Or it is canned music, so we don't have to. But we have with us now from the Catalina Women's Champion, and not only the Catalina Women's Champion, but a 4-time consecutive champion, Lori Dunsmore. Congratulations to you, first of all, and this is exciting because you were in our show and you don't remember it, so that's okay.
John, we've got,
Waterlogged.
You were.
we've got to get her a nickname now since Squier made the.
He's the geezer now. He was the George Foreman, now he's the geezer.
Yeah.
He's the geezer. Well, Dunsmore does more. And 4th time consecutively that you've won this race, and you're joined, of course, we're having Mike Drews with us, who is the driver, which is an interesting person because we were just talking to Lee Squier about the importance of the driver. And it is, first of all, let me hear from your side the importance of this gentleman, and then we'll get his comment.
Very much so. As Jeff was saying, when you ride in the boat, it is a lot of teamwork. And I've had Mike 5 years now, and he knows I almost don't need an observer in the boat to watch me because he knows what I can take and what I need and want.
She yells at me when I'm
What does she do when you guys are practicing? What does she do? Does she give you any dirty looks or cut it or bring it out?
When you see her hands going up in the air, and,
Yeah.
you know, you can tell.
Do you have signals?
I say we need a microphone to
what are
each
some
other,
of
and
your
he said
signals?
no.
What are some of your signals?
When you want to go faster, you just kind of, as much as you can to take your arm off the rope in between wakes and bumps, and as quick as you can, I should say, to give an up is kind
That
of
means
a
I'm
up.
handling
Usually
it okay.
in most boats it's the thumbs
yeah.
up, but it's kind of given up,
Yeah.
and then downs, down,
Got it.
and then some. I have
So
some
then
other
you've got an
signals too.
observer on there. You got other signals that
We can't do this.
Well, you wanted 4 times.
I don't
You
use
had
them,
great
no.
signals. You have to be, I guess that is an important signal, bring it up, because as you're hitting the rough water, you're not sure how she's handling it, or are you?
Well, at first I wasn't, but after 4 years, I'm starting to get the hang of it, so I know how fast she can hit the waves. And I don't watch her signals because I'm looking forward all the time,
That's
but
right.
I get the signals from the observer. And after you do this enough times, and we practice quite a bit, I can figure out how fast to go through different swells and boat wakes and different conditions.
Do you have
Sharks,
do you have a way to
seaweed.
signal to her, or does the observer know, okay, we're coming into some pretty good chops in here? Does he signal Lori?
I signal the observer, then he signals Lori.
All right, so you tell him this. What's the signal he would send to
well,
Lori?
if
Shark is.
those are the shark fins.
Do you have
This
a
is the
signal
big
for
shark fins out here.
There we go. There you go.
Do you have one?
No.
Yeah, Ron, our observer, has come up with one for that. But basically, if we're coming up on a big boat and there's a big wake and he's giving me ups and she can't see the wake in front, I'll give it this stuff and
So that
he'll
means
pick up
there's
on
a
that.
wake.
There's a wake
Have you
coming.
taken her over some kelp or?
I try to dodge the kelp because sometimes there's fish around the kelp and big fish.
How big is a big fish?
Well, they have these big sunfish that lay on their sides under kelp patties, and they can be 800 pounds. They just I've just been told to stay away from them, so they'll tear your rod drives off.
Have you ever looked, all of a sudden, seen a bunch of garbage right in front of you?
Oh,
and it
all the
turns out-
time. And there's schools of dolphin, and he doesn't go around them, he goes right through them.
Wow, he's
Are
an
you
old
trying to stir?
Squier
Are you
fan.
trying to stir the pot?
I'm
here,
just
John?
trying to make
Oh,
sure that
okay.
this lady, 4 years in a row, is believing in this guy and he's trying to
You're
have
just
fish
hoping
killer.
you don't hit
Now
it.
that's probably accurate. Probably the dolphin have probably run with your boat for a while. I mean, what?
If they're going with you, if they're
Okay.
going sideways, then
It's just that when you come up on them, there's so many of them, and they're just scattering, and you can't tell what they're
Yeah.
going to do. And instead of trying to dodge them, I just hold the line so they kind of, can
you
figure it out
see
for
'em?
themselves.
Do you see him when you're back
Oh,
there?
yeah.
All of a sudden, here comes.
I'm looking.
You ever had one go right in front of you? Any type of a fish?
you see a lot of sunfish, sailfish, flying fish come through over your line. Not a lot, and not as many in the last.
It's conceivable one could go
Couple of years,
whacko
yes.
just and get you, or get to ski or whatever, right?
Yeah, you always think of that.
And it's never happened?
No.
Did to anybody in the race either?
Not that I've heard of. There was Chuck Stearns, he was winner, 11-time
He won it.
winner.
He's a classic.
And he went over to San Clemente Island because it was in the fog, and he ended up, in order for us to believe him that he did go there, he brought home a goat.
He brought home a goat.
in his boat, all that way to say, I was at San Clemente, not at
Fabulous
San
boat goat.
San Clemente.
That's the three
Chuck-
biggest
Chuck's
cowboy
turn.
lies. The tobacco, the pickup trucks paid for, and
We know that.
goats.
And I done brought
Now-
the goat back from San Clemente.
Would it be safe to say that you own the boat also?
Yes.
Okay. Ah, Lori, very good.
Trying to get this
But
figured out.
next year, it's going to be different. I'm going to drive, and he's skiing
Ah.
for the next 5 years.
What type of an athlete